I know it's I feel the same way too. We reciprocal one another, come from the same star. We got the same moles on our nose, and we got the same scars. LA fit, wasn't surprised at all. We driving the same car, same mall, shopping on impulse. I don't find it all. Breadwinner, moving them kilograms. I'ma supply the raw. Bread pretenders, we on the Instagram.
All right, welcome to another episode of Black Man Stocks.
What do you hold on to? I know it's something that we all go through, just ain't yours. Raise it, boys. I'll learn how to fly again. I'll learn how to fly again. I'll learn how to fly.
Yeah, this tea is making me hot, man.
The Royal Court decision is suspected in its entirety by the breadwinner world court.
Man, we about to get into this draft. We had a great draft, man. A very good draft. Yo, man, hit the like buttons. Hit them like buttons, man. You know, what's up, my man? Godson, what's good, man? Man, I bet. I know we're going to, man, we about to be so dope, man. We about to be so dope. You know what I mean? Sometimes music, man, get the energy up, make you feel good about yourself. Smash the like buttons, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's start it. Okay, the first time we did the first picks, it was rounds 1 through 3. I think we had we had Patrick Queen, the one and only J.K. Dobbins, Justin Metabuke. And did we do Devin Duvernay that night? Yeah, Devin Duvernay. All right. So we did rounds 1 and 2. Okay, then we end up picking Malik Harrison and Tyree Phillips, man. That's you know what, man? The more and more I think about it, Tyree Phillips, it may be one of my favorite picks. You know, for years, man, for years. I'm not gonna lie to you. I used to sit there and watch, kind of envious on the Steelers, the Raiders, the Cowboys, man. They had these lines, man, and it made Le'Veon Bell look like the greatest thing that ever touched the football. I mean, he'd just be patient, hit the hole, man. He always had these holes to run through. I mean, he was just dominating behind that line. And even though we had good running backs, man, we had Yonda, we had we have Stanley. Stanley's never been known as a road grader. He's never been known as somebody to move somebody off the ball. He's always been more better in pass blocking, good in run blocking. He's solid left tackle, man. To me, one of the best in the league, best pass blocking tight end. Left tackle in the league. I think so. But we just didn't have. We had Alex Lewis. We had Hurst jumping in and out. We had then we started getting Orlando Brown Jr. and in the center situation, we had Jensen. Jensen was a strong guy. He liked to fight, and carry on, man. And last time we had a really good left guard was how you pronounce the name? Oklasimini or whatever. He went to the Raiders. That's been the last time, man. We had somebody on that left side, and in a center position that say, hey, we're gonna move some people off the ball. The last 2 or 3 years, man, we just, Skur the first year didn't really impress me. Last year he did better, and then he got hurt. He had a major KO. He had a major injury, and we don't even know what he's going to be back. So to even count Skur in as somebody that can come back and do something great, I don't know if we can do that because his injury is so bad. It's terrible. You know what I mean? So if he can come back and do something, and and can take that center position from Mariki or whatever you pronounce his name, hey, more power to him, man. But I think that Eric DaCosta and Harbaugh, I think they they show that they're not really counting on it because his injury was so bad. So when we get Phillips, man, I'm looking at Phillips, man. I've talked about him before, man, but this is a big dude. This is a big dude. Be able to slide his ass on there at guard and really, really, and 6'5", 345 pounds. I mean, my goodness. I mean, now you're talking about some and then you have Boozman. I'm like, now we getting some people in there that's nasty. Now we getting some people that's formable in there that's nasty. And then, so I really like that, man. And then, covering putting that together and having a talent where you have a 240-pound running back in Gus Edwards, and then you have the transition, like you're right, the transition from tackle may take some time, but you know what they say, that's why they would kick him inside, because he doesn't have to move too much. He's not too much in space. His wide ass can sit up in there, and he can just get the moving. But you're right, man. They have to work on his technique. They have to work on which side he's used to playing on. And I know he made a video saying that he wants to compete for that right guard. So I don't know how many snaps he's taken at right guard, but I've heard that in the senior practices they did move him in inside, and he did pretty well. So I'm excited about that, man. But to move on from him, man, the fourth round comes up, right? And we went in there and picked up Ben Bredesen, 6'5", 325. Man, you know what, man? After that pick, I promise you, after that pick, I went back and I started watching some of the plays from the Titans game, and I watched how them brothers down in Tennessee was so aggressive towards that offense, our offensive front, and they were just moving us back. Lamar was just, he couldn't get set. The running game wasn't taking off like that. I mean, they just punished our offensive line. And I know, people keep talking about, Henry ran all over y'all. Well, you know what? That offensive line took just as much beating as our defense did. Defense did. If you watch it non-biased and watch and say, hey, man, we was getting killed up front on both sides of the ball. But Eric DeCosta went out there and said, damn that, we gonna go back and we supposed to be the kings of running the football. So when he went out there and brung in some beef. He brought in some beef, man, and I've heard a lot of good things of Ben Bredesen. I know a lot of people on Twitter was really, really wanting this guy on some of the they had him as one of the top one or two guards. You know what I mean? On some of the mocks that I was reading, I was like, man, um, this is incredible, man. Another beefy guy. I remember when we had what was this guy's name? He was our offensive line coach. He came over there when we still had the offensive corner who used to talk real funny, but no, he came over here, but I know he went to Buffalo later. But he wanted our linemen to be smaller. He ran a type, I think it was like a zone, and he just wanted to just get them out and move in space. And our linemen were real small. They were skinny. I think our biggest one was like 310, 305. He got him lose all his weight. Well, that doesn't work in the AFC North. It doesn't work. You're going against Pittsburgh. You're going against these big defensive linemen, and they were just crushing us. They were just crushing us, man. And we still did good because we're a running team. But after he left, one thing I noticed, the very first, I remember they released him. And then on that off season, I remember I was looking back at some of the quotes that a lot of the linemen did. And it was like, I think Jensen and I think Hurst, they was like, yeah, we gained 15 pounds. I know there was a key push to allow our linemen. They wanted our linemen to get bigger because they saw what I saw is that when it was, yeah, you can be agile, you can have this type of we're moving, but when you got that big boy who running just as fast as you, smashing into you, no matter how agile you are, man, he's going to knock you back some, and it's going to slow down the running game. So I like that they're getting big up front, especially we got four great running backs now, and we're going to be moving people off the ball, man. It's looking like those old Raiders, the old Cowboys lines, man. They were just massive. Remember them Cowboy lines that Emmitt Smith used to run behind? Huge. Huge, man. Yeah, you're right. Our O line looked terrible, man. They look real bad, man. So Ben Brennan, they also said that he's going to be one of the guys that he's going to challenge for the center position. So now you think about it. If you look at that, you have the left guard, the center, and the right guard position all up for grabs. We can be looking at, unless you're Ronnie Stanley or Orlando Brown Jr., you fighting for your position. You fighting your position because Merrick was only on there because you know Scurry got hurt. But you know, think about it. Ben Powers is still there, and they said that he's a beast. I hope he gains about a good 10 pounds. That'd be nice. Go from like 310 to be 320. You know what I mean? And they said he got a mean streak. They last year they said he reminded of Yonda, and I think they redshirted him a little bit. I think he played like one game, but I think what they did was they held him back because they knew that he was going to be that right guard, and they just let him develop, just let him learn, and don't try to don't try to what's it called? Don't try to overload him and just let him learn that right guard position. And I think that it's going to come down between him, Phillips, and I'm not even going to talk about the Fluker. Oh man, that's a big boy. And we signing Fluker. That dude is like what? Holy crap! Let me look how big Fluker is. Fluker is like uh, what's it called? He's like 355 too. Yeah, he's a big boy. And you know what he said? He said he's 6'5", 340 pounds. And the first video he puts out, he talking some they fit my style, mean, nasty, and they like to run the ball. And I saw the videos of when him take Dominic Sue and take him and just slam him on his back. Man, hey, bro. Pittsburgh better find that they better find that defensive tackle they let loose, and whoever that is gonna have a long day because the Ravens went out there and found some giants. They went out there and found some giants, man, and I love it. Could you imagine? Could you imagine you have a one cut back in Dobbins who's super explosive coming through the line, and back on that you have a 240-pound Gus Edwards who loves to run over everybody, and then you still got Mark Ingram who likes to punish people. Just remember what he was doing with that line in Alabama. That's what kind of lines he used to run it behind. So, I mean, it's and then you have to after getting beat up the whole day, you still have to chase fast ass Justice Hale around the edges on screens. I mean, this is gonna be crazy. I mean, Eric DeCosta, man, give him the statue now. Give him a statue right up front with Ray Lewis because he's going down as the second great GM. I mean, my goodness, man. I just think that what he said he wants to build an offense that's unstoppable, and I'm just looking at it. And obviously they have to put on the pads. Obviously they have to make the jump. But at some point in time, it's like they may have built a offense that's unstoppable. They may have done it. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm just looking at it and say, wow, this is crazy. So then they went out there. The fourth round pick was Ben Brennan, okay, offensive guard, Michigan. They say he's nasty. They said, he's very sound. He's very technical. I think Hard was talking about some of the first time that they uh what's it called got a call about him. They were just like, you're gonna love this kid. You're gonna love this kid. You know what I mean? So we're gonna see, in Michigan, they produce pretty good players, man. His strength, burly, broad shoulders, NFL guard frame, peppery pass punch. I don't even know what that means. To stun defenders, sharp to the snap. They say he's really smart. Look for work when he's uncovered. Maintains base width and generally on balance on pass sets. They say he's a pass specialist though. They said he's super good in pass, but they also said that about I think Ben Powers, they said, was super good in pass protection too. So that's going to be really good. Rugged mentality will appeal to offensive line coaches. They say he's a mean dude, man. He can match power. He can match power across from him as a dry blocker. And that's what I was talking about before about, yeah, we had guards and centers that they can move, but they couldn't match the power. And that's what we was needing. And he's a two-time captain. So he knows how to lead by example. You know what I mean? He has limited athleticism and below average quickness, but that seems to be uh the overall tune when it comes to Ravens. You know, they don't look for the most athletic. They look for somebody who's mean and nasty, who is going to fight you after the play, put you in a DDT, rock bottom, whatever something, whatever something prison rules right after. You know what I mean? They want somebody mean and nasty. Think about KO. I mean, think about KO. Think about Jensen. Jensen was always trying to fight after the damn play. Remember when Flacco almost got his head taken off and people thought he was dead, and Jensen jumped on top of the dude and started fighting the Dolphins, man. I mean, offensive line. Okay, so then we pick Broderick Washington. I think of all the picks, this is one that I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it. Have getting Broderick Washington. Like, come on, bro. I didn't think it was a need there until I started to really think about it. I started to really think about it and say, you know what, man. And I said this before. Uh, I said this before when we took Justin Matabuke, and they doubled down on it. No longer is they looking for 340-pound Brandon Williams who's one dimensional. They're not looking for that no more. Eric DaCosta said never again, because think about it. We have Pierce, we have Brandon Williams, and they can't move. They're big and they're strong, and yes, they can do good and eat up blockers. But after that, I'm gonna get you, and they get hit. It's over. They have no other move. Eric DaCosta realized that. He said, you know what? Whenever it's a passing league, whenever we're facing a team who likes to throw the ball, who has quick, who likes to do quick passes, who like to do screens, what do I need a 340-pound lineman for? Who only is just one dimensional, who's going to hit you with a shoulder, he's going to give you the punch, and that's it. And he's too slow to get upfield. You know what I mean? He's too big. He can't wipe his own ass. He just can't do nothing. And I think that's over. They're getting some defensive tackles who can do both. And I've been watching Broderick Washington, his tape, and I'm not sitting there and say that he's he's this and that. I will tell you this. I do like what he's going to bring. He's not going to be Broden Williams of stuff in the run like that, but he's going to be somebody who's going to he's a strong dude, 6'2", he's 305. Plays, they comparing him to Andre Billings. Uh, you know, and he's known for his work ethic, his leadership, controlled footwork in contact and a point, field double teams and responds with aggressive punch, can press, separate, and set the edge. That's exactly what the Ravens is looking for. You can press and you can separate. That's something special for a defensive tackle. Rarely allows blocks to keep him centered. I've seen that on tape. Smart and seek the player, able to dent the pocket with his early rush charge, power to discard and dive inside the block or rush or tackle. Now, one thing I've seen on tape, man, he can get real violent. He can get violent, man. A boy, when it's something about him when he plays, man. He's one of those guys who just always seems to be there. He may not make the tackle, but his presence is felt, man. So I like him, man. To me, he seemed like he had heavy hands. He was aggressive, and I think he's gonna outwork Dylan Mack. I really do. And then we found this gem by the name of Mr. James Prochet. Now, I was sitting up there thinking, I was laying in bed this morning, actually, and I was thinking, let me watch some of these. Let me watch, because I kept seeing a lot of contested catches, the same old, same old. And I'm like, but it wasn't a lot of film on this guy. Somebody had posted some film on him, and I started watching some of the games. My goodness. I mean, this dude probably runs a 4.5. He's not no 4.3 guy, probably not a low 4.4. He's one of those guys like Derek Mason who just gets open, and he knows what to do. After that ball's in his hands, it's a wrap. He's smart, man. I mean, I was watching this dude make plays and watching his vision after the ball's in his hands. It's gonna be some problems, man. I was listening to Who was I was listening to today? It was somebody. Their favorite team was Texas. I think it was on our who was it? They was talking about the Ravens draft, and they was saying I think it was no, I think it was Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless was talking about his team. His team was Oklahoma State or Texas. His team was Oklahoma State. You know, because obviously Duvernay played for Texas, and he was saying, man, and he was like, I've always thought that he was unguardable. He was like every time they played him, he just destroys. He was unguardable in the slot. And he was like, and then I didn't know he was that fast, but then he goes out there and wows me with a 4-3. So then he goes to the Ravens. Put him in the doggone slot. When you already got eyes of strictly on the backfield to see what Lamar's gonna do. You don't know what the hell Hollywood's gonna do. You got Andrews who's Lamar Jackson's favorite target. And you have somebody who can catch, and maybe Justice Hill and definitely Ingram. So you have a choice to make. You can keep your eyes on Ingram, play deep off, and allow a one-on-one matchup with somebody who's 4-3 and super slippery. I mean, my goodness, man. Who do you go? Who do you double team? Who they said this dude in a slot was virtually unguardable. Now you have somebody like Prochet and him who are deadly with the ball in the hand. Remember when we used to play back in like 2006, maybe like 2005 to like 2000 and maybe like 11 and 12. And you know that's when the Steelers had some nice receivers: Hines Ward, Emmanuel Sanders. They had Mike Wallace. They had Antonio Brown. And you know what? Remember when we have them like fourth? We have them like third and fourth, third and three, and they'll fuck around and do that damn screen and take off like 20, 30 yards down the field. We ain't never had nobody that can do that. When the last time when we've consistently big chunks on the screen? It's going to happen now. Quick slants, dump off just to get the ball in Hollywood, Prochet, and Duvernay's hands because they are electric with the ball in their hands, man. So I mean, for me, this draft was 100% A. They knocked it out the park, man. And then they messed around and then they went out there and got Geno Stone, who I watched his tape, man, and he's always around the ball. He's very smart. He's a little ball hawk, man, and he likes to bring that hat. Don't listen, man. I love Deshaun Elliott, but Deshaun Elliott can't stay healthy. Mark my words, in a few years, Geno Stone is going to be our free safety. Mark my words. He's nasty. He is nasty. He's super smart. He's nasty. He's gonna get coached up. And let's be honest. Let's just be 100% honest. As much as we like him, as much as we're excited about him, uh, our free safety didn't do too much this year. Earl didn't do too much this year. He really didn't. He was kind of quiet. He had a quiet year. He didn't give up big passes. You know what I mean? He was, and that's good as a free safety. And like he told Ellie, I'm a free safety. As long as nobody get over my backside, I'm good. I did my job. You know. So Earl Thomas, man, he was good. He had a quiet year, but to be honest with you, man, the injuries could be taking the toll. He's like a better welder at the age of his career. You know, he's smart. He gonna be in the right position, but I think Geno is gonna really really take that position. Maybe a year or two from now. He's too good, man. He's too good to just let this man just to sit down there. He's gonna find his way on the field. Obviously on special teams and everything. So that was the rounds from 4 to 7, man. Obviously, I think my favorite out of from 1 to 7. I think I have 2. I love the J.K. Dobbins because he fits us too well, and Duvernay. I don't know because dumb linemen are about to be some beasts. But I'll say Duvernay and J.K. Dobbins, man, because we've been watching this team for years, man, and one thing we haven't had is stars at different levels. Now we're starting to get them. I even tweeted today. I said, if Prochet or Duvernay, if both of them do good, the Ravens for the first time in their 20, I think it was 25-year history or 20-something year history, where they finally have a receiver profile that they can draft and they know can be successful. Think about it. We always get good running backs. We always get great cornerbacks. We do really good on inside linebackers. That elusive receiver, we've never been able to successfully draft one besides Hollywood and maybe Torres Smith. But Torres Smith was one dimensional, so he was just one shot and he'll go. But now we have somebody who can run routes. So now you mess around and let Duvernay do good, and you let mess and Prochet do good, and they look at it and say, "Hey, we get these, receivers who can catch, who get separation, who quick and fast. Watch Ravens take off with these receivers because now they know what to look for." So I'm really excited because this could be the start of a lot of things on them being able to really finally get a draft profile and know what they're looking for in a receiver. Because a lot of times you hear Eric say, "Hey, sometimes we overthink it." Where a lot of times they don't overthink with certain positions. They just D tackles, D ends. They know how to get them. Now they're about to learn how to get these receivers. And it took us 20 something years, but I think if they do good, we're gonna finally have a draft profile, and I think all Ravens are gonna be excited about that. Um, I think Stone is going to be really, really, really good, man. I do. I think Geno Stone is going to surprise. He's going to push people. And I said it today on Twitter as well. I said, if we keep five receivers like we usually do, remember that it's going to be instead of 55, 53 now is a 55-man roster. I think the five is going to be Hollywood, Boykins, Sneed, Duvernay, and Prochet. I think that Chris Moore gone because Prochet can play gunner. He can play gunner real well, and he can field catches. And I think that it's going to come down to the last two. Now, this is where I think it gets kind of funny. I think Antoine Wesley is a sleeper too. I think he is a sleeper. He was known for his route running, you know what I mean? And now he had a year to learn what it is to go against NFL type of players in practice and on in practice and in training camp. So now hopefully he's honing his craft. But Jaleel Scott, 6'6", 215, big body guy. Jaleel Scott's bigger than Boykins. So I mean, there's something about Jaleel Scott that I like. If I had to pick one over the other one, I think that Jaleel Scott is better. Just my preference. But they say Antoine Wesley, man, his route running is nasty. And I think we're forgetting how good forgetting this receiver coach is finally starting to get in some play and getting some development out of these young receivers. So I'm excited for year two for this receiver coach, so they can get an idea what this receiver coach is looking like. And I think we're going to take off at the receiver position finally. Finally. You know what I mean? I think that we're building a juggernaut. We're building to be one team. That's the Kansas City Chiefs. They're explosive. We watched the Super Bowl. They was down. They was getting their tail beat, and that firepower was just too much to stop. Well, the only way to beat them is to outscore them. If you can score as much as they do, and your defense is slightly better, you can beat them. You can beat them. So I'm excited about it, man. I love this draft. We signed we signed Fluker, big boy. Oh, and you know what? Let me talk about these undrafted free agents. I have uh two that I'm very, very, very partial on, and I'm excited about them. Um, and that's Eli Wolf and John Dacre or Daka. But everybody talking about the white boy, the white fullback from Kennesaw, big boy, big boy, man. He runs a 4.4 workout warrior, man. Jason Rich Steiner, the Steiner brothers. I think that's their son. 4.4. He runs a 4.48, 35 bench press, a 225 vertical jump, 330. 35 inches broad jump, 10 inches, three cone drills, 6'9", shuttle run 4.2. Just a mean, nasty blocker and runner. I'm excited about that, man. But you know what, man? That's going to be a position to watch too because we got Pat Ricard. We got 55 people to keep. You got this guy who is like, wait a minute. The minute he let you can't let somebody like that leave, especially if they start to show a little bit of promise. So, and Pat Ricard is not no ordinary fullback. This dude is a monster. This dude is a guy who can line up at, he can run the ball on a goal line. He can block 300 pounds coming at you and can get sacks. I think he's really good on the defensive line. So I'm excited about Pat Ricard. He's gonna get paid, man. He's gonna get paid like the fullback that left to Justin Juice. He'll get paid like Juice did. But yeah, we ended up signing on our free agents. I mean, Nigel Warrior, a safety, John Dacre. I mean, I think I was looking at him, 6'3", 222. He's from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. He played for Mississippi State. This dude right here ran like a 4.5 or a 4.6. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. We need some outside linebackers. And his specialty is pass rush. He ran a 4.5, 4.6, 6'3", 222. He's a perfect size for an outside linebacker. So I think that we stash him. We know what I mean? We stash him on a practice squad, let him get into the weight room, bulk up to like 235, 240. You know what I mean? And let him learn it. Because, we can coach linebacker, man. We linebacker you, baby. So I'm excited about him mostly. And then you have Jason Breland, one of the nation's top most. He was doing the best in the nation as tight end, 6'5", 252, until he broke his leg. Watch some stats and watch how he can get open. He reminds me of Andrews. So I'm like, man, but Eli Wolf, man. Eli Wolf can go. Man, Eli Wolf was clocked at running a 4.4 340 at 6'4", 245 pounds. Played for the University. I think he played for Georgia. Yeah, played for my team, Georgia. Tight end, 6'6", 258. I mean, look, man, we know. Look, man, let me slow it down. We lost Hayden Hurst. One reason why we were so hard to guard because you had Andrews and Hayden Hurst who can both run. They can both run like a 4.6, 4.5. Now you got the same productivity and a faster tight end. And then you still got Boyle. So I think one of them is going to be on a IR, and one of these tight ends is going to be that third tight end because they're too talented to let leave. You know what I mean? So we restaurant found some real talent. Even Eric DaCosta said when you watch that video where him and Harbs talking in their backyard, he says we found some free agency, we found some two tight ends, and that we really really like. Well, we know that we didn't draft any tight ends. He was talking about those tight ends that was in the undrafted because them boys is bad. They is no joke. So I think they're going to make the team. And then a lot of people also like another outside linebacker / DN. We also signed a Tristan Colon Castillo, center from Missouri. I don't think he's going to make it. A Christian Welch from Iowa, linebacker. Deshaun Dixon, O-line, 6'5", 330. See, they're targeting bigger linemen, like I've been telling y'all. There's John Nurse, cornerback from Utah. Tyson Williams, running back. He's not going to make it. Khalil Dorsey, cornerback. Michael Darius, a receiver from Georgetown. I need to watch some film on him. Another Evan Williams, 6'6", 352. But there's another one in let me hurry up with this. Marcus Willoughby, a DN from Elion. He ran a 4.8. He's 6'3", 252. He's gonna be probably outside linebacker if they do keep him. But it's this guy named Chauncey. When I tell you he aggressive, man. He is aggressive. They signed him and he's a monster. He's a monster, man. And I'm Chauncey Rivers. That's who it is. Chauncey Rivers, 6'2", 262. And when I tell you, man, watching some stats on this guy. This dude is mean. He's mean, bro. Oh, and I'm sorry. John Dacre was edge from James Madison. He's super fast. But Chauncey Rivers comes from Mississippi State. I mean, and he was on the Last Chance, that TV show. And that boy he's violent off the end. So I like what we get, man. It makes me feel better. I know people say, well, you need a vet. Well, sometimes, a vet can slow you down. Sometimes it can slow down the development of people like Bowers and Ferguson. So I like what we have, man. We're getting some talent, and we're definitely building for the future, man. So, hey, man, I hope y'all like the video. Like, I'm gonna see drop some likes up in there, man. Leave some comments, man. Y'all stay safe out there. Continue to wash your hands, man. If you can, stock up on some bullets. Protect your home, protect your house, man. I went and got me some today. They almost out, and the guy said, man, we lucky to have these, man. People are buying them up because all it's going to take is a freak, something crazy happen, and pandemonium is going to happen. And you don't want to be stuck not being able to protect your family. Stock up on whatever you're eating, whatever you're vegan, whatever you eat meat. Stock up your freezer. Um, and you have to look after your family, man. You can't, as a man, you can't rely on the government to continue to feed you and clothe you and shelter you and provide you with jobs. At some point in time, a man has to be able to go out there and say, you know what, I know what's best for my family, and I know what we need, and I know what we're lacking. And if the government says we're not giving no more, and they cut off electricity, as I said before, how long could you laugh? How could you protect yourself? And all you got is a damn a butter knife or a kitchen knife. You're not going to go anywhere. You can't even hunt with that. You know, so go out there, get stock up on some bullets. Go get you some ammunition. Go get you some ammunition. Go get you a firepower. You know what I mean, and stock up on some home security, man. I mean, as men, we definitely need to do that, man. Study, keep your mind sharp. Don't get lackadaisical. I can't wait till the gyms open back up so I can start getting back in shape, man. But don't sit there and eat Twinkies all damn day. Don't sit there and eat donuts and run your blood sugar up and all that kind of weird shit, man. Stay focused, because this is the time right now where your family probably could have need you the most, because if something crazy happened, they don't need your sluggish ass up there. Can't even walk down the stairs without your asthma and an EpiPen being jabbed in your fucking heart just to be able to make it to the car. You know what I mean? We don't need that, man. And you will be the one that alpha men say, hey, we need to get rid of him because he's the weak link. You know what I mean? So go ahead, study up, man. You don't know what's about to happen. Again, man, I pray for everybody whose family is affected. Pray for everybody whose small businesses are affected as well, because I know that can be tough. As a barber, I know how that could affect me if that was my only source of income, man. So, hey, man, this is Black Man Thoughts. I haven't been on here for a while, man, but we got some content. They in rookie camp right now. I would like to know virtually how that's going on, man. So if y'all know anything, shoot me some information, man. If y'all want to talk about something, shoot me some information. You know what I mean? And let me know. I can study up on it, man, and we can break it down here on your one and only Raven Station, Black Man Thoughts.